Hey there, welcome. On a job site, communicating clearly is just as important as any tool you carry in your belt. So today, we're going to stock up your communication toolbox with some key grammar that'll help you sound clear, professional, and really confident. All right, let's get to work. So here's our plan for today. We're going to add 3 really powerful tools to your communication kit. First up, we've got verbs. Those are your action words. Then, we're going to grab some linking words to help connect all your ideas. And finally, we'll look at articles. These are for adding those important little details. And don't worry, at the end, we'll lay it all out in a quick reference guide you can use anytime. All right, let's grab our first tool from the box, verbs. Think of these as your action words. They are absolutely essential for explaining what you do on the job every single day, and of course, what you already finished yesterday. Getting this right means your whole team and your boss knows exactly what's done and what's coming up next.
So, what is a verb tense? It sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. All it does is tell us when an action is happening. Is it something you do all the time as part of your job? Right now? Well, that's the present tense. Or did it already happen and it's all finished? Yep, you guessed it, that's the past tense.
Okay, first, let's talk about the present simple. We use this for habits or facts, things you do regularly. And the rule is super easy. For I, you, we, and they, the verb just stays the same. For example, I check the wiring. But for he, she, or it, you just add an S. So it becomes, she measures the pipe. See? Simple, right?
Now, what about things that happened in the past? Well, when an action is totally finished, we use the past simple. For most verbs, we call these regular verbs. You just add ed to the end, like fixed or painted. But watch out, because some really common verbs are irregular. That just means they change in a special way. For instance, build becomes built. You'll have to memorize a few of these, but trust me, you'll get used to them with a little practice.
Okay, time for a quick practice run. Check out this sentence. The action word here is fix. So how would you change it to talk about something that happened yesterday? Go on, I'll give you 5 seconds to think about it. And the answer is fixed. That's it. That word yesterday is our clue. It tells us the action is in the past and it's all done, so we just add that ed to the verb. Great job on that one. Excellent work. Let's add our second tool to the box, linking words. Honestly, you can think of these as the nuts and bolts of your sentences. They connect your ideas and just make your communication a whole lot stronger, especially when you need to explain a problem or a solution really clearly. So what exactly do they do? Well, linking words let you join 2 smaller ideas together to make one stronger, more complete sentence. And they're so useful because they show the relationship between your ideas, helping you explain why something happened or show a difference between 2 things. Here are 4 of the most important connectors you're going to use. We use and just to add more information. We use but to show a contrast, like an opposite idea. So shows the result of something, and because gives the reason for something. Now let's look a little closer at so and because. It's pretty easy to get because and so mixed up sometimes. So here's the key difference. Because always explains the reason. Like, I wore gloves because the metal was sharp. But so shows the result of something. The metal was sharp, so I wore gloves. See that? Same idea, but we're focusing on either the reason or the result. Okay, you're up again. Which linking word do you think fits best here? The floor was wet, blank, I was careful not to slip. Take 5 seconds. Which word shows the result of that wet floor? The correct answer is so. The floor was wet, so I was careful not to slip. My being careful was the direct result of the floor being wet. Perfect. You're getting the hang of this. All right, let's grab our third and final tool for today, articles. Now these are small words. We're talking a, an, and the, but wow, they can prevent some big confusion. It's the difference between asking for a wrench versus asking for the specific wrench you need for the job. See what I mean? So what do they do? Well, they always sit right in front of nouns. Things, people, or places. And they tell your listener if you're talking about something general, like any old drill, or if you're talking about a very specific one that you both know about. Let's break this down. It's all about the sound. You use a before a word that starts with a consonant sound, like a pipe. You use n before a word that starts with a vowel sound, like an electrician. And you use the when you're talking about one specific thing, like the hammer in your hand. All right, last practice question of the day. What's the missing word here? She is blank electrician.
Really listen to that first sound in the word electrician.
And the answer is an. That's right. We say an electrician because the word electrician starts with that vowel sound. Eh. Fantastic work.
Well, look at that. You've now got 3 super powerful tools in your communication toolbox. So let's put them all together on one handy slide. Think of this as your quick reference guide that you can come back to anytime you need a reminder. And here it is, all in one place. We've got our verb tenses for talking about now and the past. We have our 4 key linking words to connect your ideas, and, but, so, and because. And we've got our articles to show if you mean something general or specific, a, an, and the. This right here is your core communication kit.
And that's our toolbox for today. You did a fantastic job. Just remember, like any tool, the more you use these grammar rules, the easier it gets. So get out there, try them out on the job site, keep communicating clearly, and I'll see you in the next one.